Welcome to our Tuesday Q&A. Today we're going to start off with just open questions off the bat, see if anybody's got anything. Later in the hour, we'll go through the customer portal and probably show a little video. So as normally, we'll continue and go to the, in order to ask a question, we'll go ahead and hit the react or the reacts button. Probably looks like a heart down at the bottom. Go ahead and click that and then raise your hand or click the hand emoji, and then we can get your questions asked in the order that they come in. All right, we're going over to Brian.
Hey, Tyler, just a quick question. There's things that I'm doing, and as I'm talking to a customer face to face, I want to put a note on their account to say, hey, follow with them in a week or something like that. Is there a preferred way to put that? Because I guess what I'm thinking is sometimes I put them in, where they're at and they show up. Like I just want it for me, not necessarily anybody who walks in the door about it. Is that like, because a lot of times you put up notes and it shows up, it pops up on their account, things like that.
Yeah, so it's a good question. I think the best way to go about that would be to create an issue for that customer and on their account, and then assign it to yourself. So that way you can always filter for, issues that are assigned to me, and then go through it that way.
Perfect. I think and then with issues, you have due dates and stuff like that too, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So you can do, yep. Okay. Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome.
And if there's not another,
yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Every report I create, there's a generate API button. I guess, could you give me a few examples of how to use that, or what would be the use of that just for my education?
Hey, Ryan, it's Chris. So essentially, the API key is for like custom software. It's a data feed, right? It's basically just pulling information from Smart and putting it somewhere else. So if there was some type of different reporting system you were using for whatever reason, or different marketing platform or stuff like that, that API key could generate the data that you need, and you can make whatever reports you need to generate whatever data you need for that specific setup. So it just depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I guess right now I don't have another reporting software. It's just pulling it in Excel. Like so you're saying I could create some type of script to pull from specific reports, put it into Excel, and then run my reporting out of that.
Exactly. And we also use the same kind of setup for our marketing, right? So like if I needed to see all customers who haven't visited me in X amount of days, and I want only that specific list of people, I can generate the report, pull the API key, and put it into a different software in order to get the data right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think what I'm looking to do is pull anything that's been assembled by a couple of aliases and do some calculations based off of it. Okay, that works. Thank you.
All right, awesome. All right, looks like Will.
Hey, how's it going? I do smart marketing, and within smart marketing, how can you do a survey?
Hi, Will. It's Denise here. How are you? I have taken this question from you, and I know you really want surveys.
So hold on, let me jump in real quick. So I know your answer. So tell me this: outside of smart marketing, would I have to do like customer IO or something like that, and then hook up MailChimp and then go through that and API to you guys?
So you're trying to have the answers be marked and smart. Is that your end goal, or do you just what is your end goal with this? Where do you want the information to live, and what are you trying to do with it? I know you're trying to give maybe a gift to someone if they reply to the survey.
No, what I want to know is I want to know why people use us and they don't use us.
Okay. So
I mean, I want that information. I want to be able to reach out to them and ask them, are they a frequent dry cleaner? Are they a once a month? Are they once a year? So then we can start getting data on like target customers that we should really be approaching. You know, like the same thing is like, how do you want your information, email or text? You know, like these are basic things, and there is zero businesses out there that do not want this information.
Sure. And I know what we've proposed is that you could make your poll anywhere you want, pick any platform you want, and just get that responder link. And then we would create for you a message. It could be a drip. It could, we could cut up your list and you could even have a different survey to different customer groups, right? You could have one that goes to your active customers and one that goes to inactive customers. You can create however many polls you want. We can help you slice and dice your customer list and get that out through our marketing program. What I don't have a way to do potentially is put the answers in that customer record. We do have tags. We can look at whether a tag could help you with this. We do have for you to use for, let's say, digital advertising, we can help you create tags so you can track whether someone came from a certain ad campaign. That might be something we could actually do. I wonder if there's a way to embed that in like a link and then have that create some sort of tag in that customer record that they replied to the survey. I don't know if that's of interest to you, but in terms of collecting the information, any poll you want to put together, we can obviously get it out for you. We just need like a web link, and we would, we could create an email or text message for you and send that out.
Okay.
And I have
Perfect.
Jason who wants to talk and
Yeah,
answer as well.
I was gonna say, Will, we can go over this. I think I just saw.
Yeah, Kendall said
Yeah,
we have a meeting on Thursday.
yeah, I just saw that. We can go over all that and find out how we can best get that situated for you, get that done.
Perfect.
But I do think it would be nice, in fact, for you to make a few different versions. You could do it for people who have used a certain service. You could do it for people who haven't been in 6 months. All of those options, obviously, any KPI we can make, and you can just make that perfect poll for that customer group, and then we'll get it out for you.
Yep. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. We don't have anybody. Actually, Jason has one more thing to add.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Will, if you can just send me a little bit of information before that meeting that you're looking to do, I can put together a couple options as well, so I can have that ready ahead of time.
And to give a thumbs up. All right. All right. And next we've got Gina.
Okay, there we go. So for the rewards feature, I'm just playing around with it and trying to set up what I'm gonna be offering on my customers. So what I can see right now, I'm pretty new to Smart. I just started in January, so I'm still learning. But I see that the points expire. I mean, the rewards, once they're redeemed, they expire if they don't use it within 1 month. So is there a way to have them not expire?
Hey, Gina, can you hear me there?
Yes.
Hey, so you are right that there's an aspect to the rewards program that does expire, but you don't have to use it that way. So the way it works is as customers earn points, when they hit the threshold and they earn an award, is the word I use for it to differentiate from the points. When they earn an award, the award sits on their account and can be redeemed either by your staff or by the customer from the customer website. They get an email notification, that sort of thing, to let them know about it. If they don't redeem it within 30 days, it will expire. But once it's redeemed, the credits don't expire. And in the reward settings, if you don't want anything to ever expire, you can set it up so that the rewards automatically redeem. And that way there's nothing sitting there that's waiting for somebody to redeem it. And so they get the credits automatically right away, and then nothing expires.
Okay, and did they get notified whenever they get redeemed? Okay, they know.
Yep, in both cases, they'll get notified. Yep.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. That
All right,
works.
you're welcome.
Okay, perfect. All good. Looks like we don't have any questions at the moment. We'll wait a little bit longer later. I'll show a video of the customer portal, like I said earlier, and some ins and outs of that. Again, just as a reminder, in order to ask your question, go ahead and hit the react or the reacts button at the bottom, hit the hand emoji, and you can ask whatever question you'd like. All right. Hey, Steve.
Hey guys, how are you? How's everybody today?
Doing well.
Simple question. On the customer screen, as far as I can tell, it's showing subscriptions as an option as far as availability or services we offer. Currently, we're not doing subscriptions. I know there's a way to do it, but how can we make that not appear on the customer?
Yeah, this is a good question. So where you'll want to go, and this is, of course, if you have access, but you're going to want to go to your price list module, as in under settings, detailing pricing, and then price lists. Let me just see if I can pull one up for you. Okay, so here, so we just have a pretty basic one, but it's just subscription. Going to subscription test. Originally, this obviously would be closed like this. And go ahead and click that settings button. As long as it's set up like this, you can click the hide in customer app. Now, currently, there is a kind of one issue with this part is if you are running separate brands and you have subscription types specific for brands that other brands don't want to show. We're working on that, but this is really just a global thing. So if you uncheck this, nobody's going to be able to see it. And then say you have the promotion set for only brand one and not brand two, regardless of who they are, they're going to be able to see it if this is unchecked.
All right. Yep, I got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions while we have you on here?
No, we're good.
Okay. All right. And Salvador asked a question in the chat. He said, how to schedule someone every 2 weeks. I think this is a frequent question that has been asked, not only on here, but just in general. Currently, Smart is not set up to do it automatically. There's no way that you can set your route to run every other week. That would have to be a manual process to that extent, because whenever you're setting up a route, you have your Monday through Saturday, Sunday, however your business works, and you would set up, if I'm running Monday, Tuesday, you can't have that due semi-monthly or, every other week. There's no button for that. So that's where it comes into the manual process.
If I can just add to that a little bit, Salvador, the recommendation, if you do want to do that, if you have a customer or a few customers who need to be biweekly, is you can actually just manually schedule their stops ahead of time, right? And you could even do like 3 months worth, 6 months worth, however many you want to do. But then I would suggest put an issue on their account, assign it to yourself or to whoever is responsible for keeping up with this, and set the due date for the last stop, the date of the last stop that you scheduled. That way, when they run out of pre-scheduled stops, Smart will give you a notification and remind you to go schedule more. So that way you can kind of keep up with it, and you can do a whole bunch at once and then come back and do it, 6 months later or whatever. So it's shouldn't be too much work to get that set up once you have the issue in place with the due date.
All right. And it looks like we've got Brian.
Yeah, sorry, coming back. I'm looking to expand our wash dry service, and I'm looking to give gift cards specifically for our wash dry service. Is there a way to do that or no? So I guess to expand on it, give our current delivery customers who use dry cleaning service a wash dry fold gift card, or one way for them to only use, $50 or whatever it is on wash dry fold.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Do you already have a promotion set up? Like, would you want to do it through a promotion base?
I mean,
Um,
I could, that would be, I mean, if I give them if that's being said, if I give them a piece of paper that says, hey, here's $50 to wash dry fold, and just need to add a promotion to their account, then that works too.
Yeah, yeah, and then you could also do it to where yeah, I would recommend doing a promotion, and then you could make it scannable, so that way your CSR has to scan it before starting the next order. But you could really go either way with that. But I think the best way to do that would be promotion based.
So in a promotion based, I give them, how would I set that up?
Yeah, it's Chris just jumping
Hey,
in.
Chris.
So yeah, so basically in the promotion, we can set a limit as to how much money off that promotion allows. So let's say our limit is
Okay.
$50. So they can actually keep using that promotion. Let's say the first order is only $10, the next one's 20. It's going to use that promotion up until it reaches the maximum usage of 50, or whatever that maximum usage is.
Got it. Okay. So that'll be me creating it, adding the promotion to their account. And then it just withdraw from it. Okay, that works.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's go to Will really quick.
So with that promotion Brian was just talking about, could you do that where you actually just set them a text? So you set up in their profile, you set up a promotion, you send them the promo code in the text, and then they just follow that link and then apply it. Because I think that's the easy way, Brian, that would be the easy way to get it to them immediately, and you could probably make them, razzle dazzle them a little bit in that text message.
Yeah, you could definitely do that with a manual text for sure. You could set up a template even for it, so you could set up that stuff. But if you wanted to do the automated way of that, you could also look into doing marketing with us too.
Yeah,
What
that's
would
what
work.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because then you could put triggers on the customers that you want to reach out automatically, and then it could automatically generate those texts with that promo code and send it to them. And then it's like set it and forget it.
Right. Yep. Exactly. And I'll jump over to Brian real quick. It looks like he's got something.
Yeah, just to respond, thanks, Will. I am looking into doing something like that. That takes a little bit of time. So what can I do right now to offer, just to grow the wash rifle business, starting tomorrow. So yeah,
Can't you
all of
manually
it-
text them?
What's that?
Can't you just manually send them a message through Smart?
Yeah, and that's what I will do.
Yeah.
It's either that, I think there's, and I was working with route pros and things like that, and there is value in talking to the customers. So I'm going to try to do that. But if, sending a text message, I think absolutely works for 90% of the people that they're going to send it to. Thank you.
Awesome. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay. I think we've got a question in the chat really quick before we move over to Gina. Salvador said that he had another question. Okay. I think Mike Marshall, you had a question. What's the report for missing barcodes?
I'm sorry, but Mike, are you asking the default report that's already built into the system? What is that report? Or are you asking how to create a report for items missing barcodes?
Can you hear me? The one that's built into the report. I
I
mean, into
gotcha.
the
So yeah,
system.
so basically that items missing barcodes KPI is essentially exactly kind of like what it says. It's a report that if you're detailing, and let's say I detail 4 items, and then at the end of the day, I want to check this report and it can tell me that I'm missing, well, one of those items is missing a barcode. So that way, when it gets to assembly, you'll know that it's already missing a barcode. You can kind of just check that report to double check before like things go through assembly that everything has a barcode. Because otherwise you have to stop your assembly process, re-barcode it, and then proceed with the order like naturally. But it's just a report to keep track of items actually that don't have heat seals on them or a barcode attached to them.
Does that come from the front counter slip? Like there were 4 pieces marked in for this brought in for this customer, only 3 were marked in. So you're missing 1.
Yeah, so like it works like this, right? Like for example, let's say you have you're assembling, you're going through assembly, and then you get a pair of pants, a black pair of pants with no barcode on it, right? And in that items missing barcode report, it tells you there's a pair of pants that matches that description and it tells you who it belongs to. So instead of trying to figure out who or what that item belongs to because it's missing a barcode, that items missing barcode report will tell you who it belongs to, right? It'll give you a little bit more direction as to who to redetail it or reapply the barcode for.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
If I could just add to that real quick, Mike, because I think you touched on something a little different, but sort of related. It sounded like you were also asking about reporting on orders where when you enter a piece count, when you create the order, and then you detail the order with a different number of pieces. Seemed like you referred to that. So that is something that currently is not available in reporting in SMART, but we're actually looking at that. We've gotten a number of requests for that over the last few years, and I think it's doable, and it's something we're considering putting in the putting on the roadmap. Cool. All right.
All right, now we'll go over to Gina.
Oh, okay. So for the discounts, when creating an order, I know you can add a discount for the whole order, but is there any way to add a discount to individual item on that order? Like for example, I don't know, like green items are 10% off this season, and how can I just put that 10% off on that green item and not for the whole order?
Yeah, so I don't believe that you can set it for a specific color. For that example, I could probably understand why with St. Patty's Day, right? But yeah, I can't do a specific color, but if you were to do based off of an item, where if you're like, I only want 2 shirts, but this person brought in 2 shirts and 2 pants, I don't want the whole order to be, you would just have to set up the promotion to only be working for shirts or whatever you're trying to push for.
Yeah.
Or a special carry, yeah, that's true too.
Okay, so like, just
Yeah.
just like manually, you cannot add like a discount, like when you click right click on a item and you open it and you can change the pricing or whatever, you can not add like a discount like individually.
Well, you can't add a promotion through the promotion box to a specific item of like color, right? Because we don't have anything that specifies like a color of an item can get a specific discount. What you can do, however, for like scenarios like this, like St. Patrick's Day, you can create a special care that's a negative percentage off, so negative 10%. And then that can be applied specific to that item, and it will do what you need it to do.
Great, perfect. That's a great idea. Okay, that works. That solves my issue.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And just to clarify for everybody else listening who might be interested, the big picture point in that is a promotion while it can target certain item types, you can't make a promotion target the specific shirt on an order that you want to discount. So if you want to discount individual items, you're going to need a special care that does that.
Okay, that's a good question. In the chat, Zachary Schrader put in there. So if you do a negative percentage special care,
So Zach, the question is that if you do a special care, does it permanently show if you're heat sealing? So in the special care, when you create the special care, there's a checkbox that actually determines whether or not that special care is permanent or not. So if you don't check it to make it permanent, then it won't follow the heat seal and it'll be removed the next time.
all right, so here we're just going to run through this quick little video. So this is as if you were a customer, you get the first text coming in. This is downloading the V card and opening it up to the V card, which is the contact card for whether you're on Apple or with Samsung. Samsung users, or Android users, sorry, they'll get an actual file that it'll seemingly like download for them, but it'll still create that contact form. And then here, clicking the link will bring open their portal or their app. So here, just looking at all the things that they have available to them. Go back really quick, and it'll go one by one for it. So you can see they've got their profile, address, preferences, payment method, invoice and payments, and then add to home screen. And we're going to walk through all of those here. Here's just a profile, how to update it, everything that you get. So there's the promotion part. So if you were to have a promotion be sent to your customer, that's where they would go. They would hit that update profile button right there, and then that promotion pops up below. You see if I can get that again. Kind of move fast. Hit update profile, and then right here, this promotion at the bottom. So they have that available to them, and then if you have anything else that they can or is optional for them to fill out, they can also update it there too. You can add multiple addresses here if you were to say live in two different areas or have two different people underneath you, which some people do have, and you can schedule which place of drop off or pickup, or say you want to pick up in one location, drop off in the other. Customers have that availability. You see. Everybody all good? No issues.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm going to keep moving then. All right. So just get done putting in the address. Here's any notes or images that you'd like to put on your account. And then here, moving into preferences. So some people have it so that way they have certain preferences set up to do certain special cares per items. So this is where your customers can go through and set up their preferences if you have them already listed for them. And I'm sure we'll have some questions about setting up preferences. If some people don't have those, we can go over that too. You can see here some are set to a radio button, some are set to a select multiple pieces or multiple preferences. And then into payment method. Your customers will always have the availability to change or add new payment methods. As we'll see here. Perfect. And then it goes to the update payment method down at the bottom. Let's go back really quick. Right there at the bottom, update payment method. Okay, and here's the map so you can see store locations, and if there are drivers out, you'll be able to see those too. as well as lockers too. Here, this is sending a message directly to the cleaner themselves. If you have marketing, it can look different as well, because there's a way that you can just hit reviews and they can send a direct Google review that way. Or they can call, which will route directly to whichever store they're home to. This is setting up a pickup date and time, and right here you'll be able to edit addresses, any instruction notes, any photos. This is again just a quick order. That's what the notes will look like. And then here they still have the option to take pictures of their own items, or they can move past it and they don't have to do it. If they want to put on there, hey, I need an alteration here. Perfect, they can put in their own description, save it, move on to the next. Perfect, and so then after they hit place order, this doesn't, it kind of puts in like a ghost order, as I would call it, as you still have to wait for the driver to actually come pick it up and then create the order. But the data is in your system waiting because I have pictures and everything like that. Moving forward to after assembly or after production of it, items in bagging, and now they see that the delivery scheduled. They can see the delivery date and what status your item is in. Here, once I hit the invoices and payments, they're able to see what has been unpaid and what has been paid. And perfect right there, as well as they can also download a PDF version of their receipt so they can see exactly what they paid for if they have any questions. Add to home screen is kind of just a walkthrough as to how you can add your customer or their customer portal to the home screen without having to, click the link or do anything like that with through either the text message or through the V card if they downloaded it. So they'll always have access to it. Okay, and that's it. Right. If you have any questions about that, go ahead and raise your hand through hitting the react button, and then we can take your question. Jump over to Will.
A couple of questions. So on that V card and the Google contact, are you I missed? Are you sending that through Smart to them? Or
Yes,
is
so
that
that-
a link? Can you show where?
Yeah, so it's default with everybody. Most of the time it's in, give me a second, it should be a template that's already set up and it goes out in the welcome message. But
Yeah,
if you
what if
don't-
it's, yeah, so it goes out in the new customer, but if you've altered that or changed it, you need to make sure, because the last time that I talked to you guys about this, the V card for iPhone was no problem, but Google was the issue. And so now you're telling me that when they get that sent, if they have an Android phone, that it will give them an icon to download it, something along those lines?
Not entirely. So it appears as if they downloaded a file whenever they click it. It still sends them a link, but with Android and Google, they act like they're downloading a file. or at least that's how it's displayed on the phone. But it really, once they click on it, it acts like it's downloading, downloads a file, and then it goes to their contact. Seems confusing, but
Yeah, do you guys have an easy way to have because what we end up doing is we tell them to save it to their homepage. And what happens then it becomes a smart icon and then they can click on it and get into it. Is there any like fast track to that with the customer? Because some customers still don't know how to save it as a link or save it as a homepage icon.
yeah, so that's what that last part was, that last button. And I get what you're saying is that they lose that link or whatnot, but that's where it's kind of, if your customer clicks it to start, then they have ease of access to it with the V card.
So they
older-
can then, so once again, they can just, once you do that, regardless if it's a V card or an Android, it automatically is in their contacts under the name of the cleaners that Smart is registered as.
Yes,
So when they,
exactly.
so when they say they can't find it, we just have to say, go to your contacts and then open the contacts and then go into the information and then they can hold down that link and then it says save as homepage or home screen, and then you go from there.
Yeah, yep, exactly. But it all goes back to if they click the V card in the beginning.
Got it. My next question real quick was were you guys using a video for showing that you guys have made and you were just walking through it, or were you actually typing in the comments of the alterations and that in real time?
Oh no, that was just a video that we made
Yep.
earlier in the week.
Okay, so my question is, if you're with Smart Marketing or with Smart in general, could you make a faster version of that video that we can give customers so they can understand how to use the app that might give them more motivation to do so?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we could definitely do some type of, we can figure out something. We can probably snippet the video and get it placed into an article or something for the public use.
Got it. One last question. No, that was for myself. I got it. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Let's jump over to Mike.
Yes, I got a couple questions. Whenever you open an item that, when you get the big box, it'll show all the details. I've talked to some of you all about this, but just wanted to see, is everybody had this problem, but it's it'll show as detailed, deleted, detailed, and split. And it's all within a few seconds of each other. So it makes it look like even the person marked it in deleted it, but it's not. Or they didn't, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, it does look confusing. I think the biggest thing to pay attention to is if it's split or not, and then what that note says it went to. But yeah, that's standard where it's been detailed and then
Okay.
Hey, Mike. So the way Smart works is that if you have a split configuration set up and it's splitting at detailing, it basically removes the items and puts them on their own separate order. So it's tracking the removal from the previous or the original ticket, and it's tracking the new ticket and what it was split to. So because Smart tracks each of those events is why you see that delete row and you see the split row. So it's just really letting you know that, hey, this was deleted from order 1 and now it got split to order 2. And that's just keep a record of the event history.
Okay. I got 2 more questions. Whenever you open an item in Smart, there's all these options at the bottom. Can you run through those, like reject, future price, alter only, press only, things like that?
So basically reject just means we're not going to clean it. We're not going to do it. It's not going to go through assembly. The future price allows you to basically, let's say it's a wedding gown or something that you don't price right away. You might have to send it out, but you don't want the CSRs to give it back to a customer without a pricing on it. So future price will it'll restrict it from being racked to a final location until it has that price. And then alter only just means that the garment won't be cleaned. It's just going to get the alteration. The same thing with press only. It's just going to get, it's only pressing the item. It's not going to get cleaned or anything else. The send to option is just basically a way for you to send garments somewhere else. Like for example, let's say I've already assembled the item and it actually needs to go back to cleaning. So if you send it back to clean it, it takes it out of the assembled status and puts it back into a cleaning status so the CSRs or whoever's on production knows that it needs to be cleaned again. And then you'll see the, say that again?
It'll go through metal Progetti again then?
Exactly.
And will it do it at
and
zero
then-
price?
So yeah, so you can do a zero price item all the way up until the point that it's assembled. It's just if you use future pricing, when it's time to rack the order, it's going to say, oh, this item is future price. You can't rack it or something along that lines. It gives you an error message.
Okay. So that'd be good for alterations. So at the store
Exactly.
level, they can do that. And then the alterations lady can put that in. when she's-
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. And one other question, if a customer wants to upload a picture to us, where does that end up? Where can we view that picture if they do it through the app?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, well, it does depend, right? Like if I schedule a pickup or delivery, it's when you're detailing the item or detailing the order, you'll get a pop up with all the photos and it allows you to select which photos belong to which item. But also if they're doing like, let's say it's a pickup and you're using the delivery app, it'll show up as like a note on the stop. So it kind of just depends on where they're taking the picture from and what type of, what are they taking the picture for.
Okay, you need to tell Lisa how to do that.
Okay, what, sorry, I got distracted, but let's just say a customer at the store gets back something and has, the stain didn't come out. They want to take a picture of it and show it to us. What would be the process, I guess?
So it creates an issue and it shows up in your contact log next to that issue. So like if they send that picture in, it will create a issue in the message center for you to be able to look at it.
To our main mailbox also? Is that what you?
Exactly. So it'll be in the contact log, but it actually creates an issue. That's what and then in that issue, it should show you that image of whatever they sent in.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, let's jump over to Zach.
Hey, I'm curious, have you had an instance where a customer has created an order using the online portal, but they haven't followed through and scheduled a delivery? Because I think that happened to us once or twice. A customer got confused and then it just kind of got lost. Is there any notification to alert us if something like that happens?
So if they don't, Zach, if they don't finish the order, it doesn't create the order in Smart. Only mail orders get created if something like that occurs. Now, if you're asking if they get a notification, if you get a notification like, hey, this customer started this order and didn't finish something, you won't get it because they shouldn't create that. Like you shouldn't have an actual visible order on that customer account if they don't follow through with it.
Okay, so maybe it's just us and we've had a couple of not tech savvy customers and like they've reached out to us and let us know that, hey, like we tried to schedule it or something. I mean, like I would think that they'd be able to figure it out, but we like had to manually do it because like they were confused by the process. I was just curious if that was just us. And it's
Yeah,
been
and I think someone might get confused with the quick ticket kind of thing versus the picture taking. So there's an easy way to do it where you just say, hey, I want to order, it creates the order. And then there's the longer way where you could take photos and all that kind of stuff. And that might be where the discrepancy is coming into like place.
And so if someone doesn't realize like what they've done, I mean, like, I guess I'll go back and rewatch that video if you guys make that available and see how easy it is, or they should be able to figure it out. All right. I was curious also about when a customer updates their credit card, like when are we supposed to get a notification in regards to a customer changing their credit card? I thought every time they update it, we were supposed to get notified. But if it's a new customer adding a new credit card, we don't get notified.
Yeah, so yeah, if it's an existing customer and who had a previous card on file and they make a credit card change, it should give you the notification. But if I'm a customer who's never had a card on file or I'm a new customer with no card on file and I'm just adding the card, you don't get a notification for that.
So okay, all credit card changes are supposed to be notified.
If the setting is turned on, but I think you already have it on, Zach. So yes.
And then I know this is a minute ago, but Will's idea of like creating a trimmed down version of that video to share with our customers, I thought that was a great idea, Will. Thank you. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, we definitely, I'm pretty sure we can get something sent out to you guys by the end of the week. Shouldn't take us too long to fix it.
Hey, Zach, if you notice a pattern with that, the customers with sort of incomplete pickups or order creation, please reach out to us in support so we can check that out. If it's just, an occasional one-off here and there, probably not something to be concerned about. But if you feel like there's a pattern, then maybe there's something about the customer flow that we could adjust. Maybe some settings we could tweak on the customer website that might help with that.
Sure, I'd be happy to share the information, Mike. It's
Sure.
just, but in that instance though, like we're not notified of it, so
Mhm.
they have to manually reach out to us
Yeah.
a couple days later and be like, hey, why didn't you guys come pick my stuff up or something? And so
Okay. Yeah. Well, it probably wouldn't hurt to send us that info and we can at least look into it. And that way, if there is some underlying issue, we can go ahead and address it so it doesn't keep happening in the background without you knowing about it.
it's only as far as I know, it's only happened twice to us ever since
Okay.
like the new portal went live. I mean, twice in that that we found out about it. It could have happened more,
Mhm.
and the customers just thought we ignored them. So and they didn't call. But if we
Okay.
learn about it again, I'll be happy to let you know.
Sure. Yeah. Up to you. If you want us to check it out, just send it on over.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
All right,
Hello?
and then Enrique?
Yes, this is a question to kind of what you went through with the app. I have it set up where the first encounter, I want to get that message. We sent our links through our Instagram and Facebook, as well as asking how they heard about us through the app. And I'm wondering if this is through like marketing through Smart. Could you add our links through our Facebook and Instagram through that app? Or because I know you mentioned if you have smart marketing, Google will appear there. I know you mentioned that when you were going through it. Could you do something where if a customer is through the portal, could we add our links to our business? If our business is so and so, could we add Facebook so they can see it? So if they just want to go see our content, is that something that
Hey, Enrique, I just want to make sure I understand what you're asking about. In which case, I think we can do that. Do you mean that you'd like to see when a new customer signs up, you'd like to see whether they came from Facebook or Instagram or Google or wherever?
No. So when a customer comes in, when they go through when they're through that portal, could we add like Facebook and Instagram through there? Just because how it has contact us through text, contact us through the phone. Could we add in there a link through Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah. So I think so, like maybe in the new customer welcome message.
No, I already have that set up. I'm talking about
Okay.
when they're like, if they
Oh, when
want to
they're
create an order, if they want to like communicate
in the
with us.
portal.
Yes, in the
Gotcha.
portal. That's exactly, yes.
Hmm.
Or is
I-
that with smart marketing?
So as far as putting the links in the customer app, I don't believe there's technically a way to do that right now.
Okay.
Smart
Okay.
marketing might be able to help with some kind of workaround, although I'm not sure what that would look like. That is an interesting idea though, to have,
Yes.
I guess they're not quite affiliate links, but like social links for your business
Yes,
visible in
because
the
we already
customer app.
have
That's a
we
good
already
idea.
have that. It's like when a customer walks in, the first counter order will have that, like, thank you for using us, and then it'll send them to our links if they want to check us out, and then on top
Mhm.
of that, asking how they heard about us.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I
Yeah,
just want
that's
to see if there was a way to continue to just keep them there if they, once they're in the portal, just to keep them there if they want to check us out through that portal, if that makes sense.
right. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I think there'd probably be some value in adding something like that. So I'm going to write it up as a feature request, and we'll see if we can do something with that.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that was great. So I wanted to end with one last thing. So some people have asked about at the counter. They want an easy way to get their customers to show them the link instead of giving them the URL or like having to go and send them a message. So some people have actually created their own QR code. Hopefully everybody can see this. And this is at all their counters. So that way, whenever customers come up, they're able to log in and show them exactly what they can and can't do right there at the counter. I highly suggest everybody do this. Or if you're dependent on the customer app, definitely look at doing this. And we're also looking at other ways to make it better for the customers to kind of let you know that they're coming, or a faster way that they could pull up in their account whenever they show up at the store too. All right, and it looks like we're about to just go ahead and end it on this note. And we're going to put a poll up. Go ahead and leave your feedback, everything that, or anything that you think of. Go ahead and let us know, and look forward to seeing you guys next week.